You ready? All right, good evening, everybody. Let's please call the Town of New Canaan Water Pollution Control Authority special meeting to order, please. Chris, if you do the roll.
Yes. Todd Lavieri,
Here.
Michael Chen,
Here.
Chris Labrise is here, Victor Alvarez,
Here.
Maria Weingarten,
Here.
Bob Hamill,
Here.
James Yao will be late. Nick Matrakis,
Here.
Jan Schaefer,
Not here.
Steve Doka.
Here.
Alan Bedaines.
Here.
All right, so except for Jan.
We can seat somebody for, what, Jan's she's an alternate. We're all good. All right, okay. We do have minutes to approve. If we could have a motion to approve the minutes from the June 10th meeting. Hi.
Wait, this is a WPCA meeting.
She's allowed to attend the meeting, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of the
I don't
boss.
vote.
Okay,
She's the CEO. You can't tell her what you.
all right. She's ex officio on Board of Finance,
Yes.
but not you're ex officio on WPCA?
I have to,
All
on
right.
every other board.
Yeah, well,
but I don't
okay.
know.
Well, we're not voting and there'll be no ties tonight, so
You don't have to worry
you're
about it.
safe.
All right.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes from June 10th. They were in the documents that were sent to you. Motion approved. Dick, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Abstain?
Aye.
Aye.
Bob, opposed? None? Okay, so moved. Okay, two topics tonight. Maria and Tiger are going to give us an update on the work that's been done on the I&I study, as well as the sewer fee analysis, which we'd ask them to do a little analysis on. So I'll turn it over to you both. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. We're here tonight to provide a brief update to the sanitary sewer evaluation study, the SSES program, and sewer system mitigation implementation strategy. In May of this year, the town's consultant AECOM finalized the reporting of the first phase of the SSES program. A copy of the phase 1 reporting is posted on the town's website under Public Works Wastewater Treatment tab. The phase 1 report encapsulates AECOM's extensive fieldwork evaluations, recommendations for further evaluations, and proposals for mitigation measures to the existing sanitary sewer system. It is a comprehensive document and provides a good roadmap for which the Public Works Department is using to employ measures within our right-of-way to reduce stormwater infiltration into our sanitary sewer system.
Hey, Maria, can I ask you to just maybe pull that mic closer to be a little bit louder?
We have invested in
Thank you.
tools and materials to replace key sanitary sewer manhole covers without penetrations, already performing work alongside recent paving projects on Millport Avenue, Olmsted Court, Green Avenue, and Harrison Avenue. In addition, we have begun existing sanitary sewer relining initiatives in South Avenue and Cross Street. We are preparing for our next round of lining projects with a goal of close to 3,000 linear feet of in situ form, cured in place sewer relining for fiscal year 2026. As previously discussed, the scope of the proposed investigations has been divided across 4 fiscal years, fiscal year 24 through 27. And we are currently working with AECOM on phase 2 of their investigations. Just this morning, fieldwork commenced in the northern section of our sewer district, where Flow Assessment Services began their manhole inspections of sub-area 4. When they are complete, they will continue working in limited areas of sub-areas 8, 9, and 10, all within the northeastern portion of our system. It is estimated that their inspections will take approximately a month to complete. As a separate field evaluation occurring concurrently with the manhole inspections, Nationwide Water Main Cleaning Company has also commenced their work this morning with light cleaning and CCTV inspections in those same sub-areas. Their work is slated to take approximately 3 weeks to complete. We are pleased with the ability to work with AECOM and their team to simultaneously evaluate the condition of the existing sanitary sewer system as part of their investigation work for phase 2 of the SSES, while also tackling mitigation projects and improvements outlined in phase 1 of their document. Therefore, this dynamic process gives us the opportunity to physically address issues and areas of concerns as they arise as we work towards our goal of significantly reducing stormwater and runoff flows into our wastewater pollution control facility. And that's a summary of where we are with the SCS.
So the budget for this year, refresh our memories, what did,
The evaluation
Yep.
is 400,000,
right?
and for the mitigation measures, so the actual field work is 500,000.
And that's for this year. And then we continue on for 2 more years with this. Okay. And then we start doing larger programs based on these findings, or
Well, you say larger programs, but we're still anticipating 500, like, we'd like to cap everything each year to around $500,000.
Okay,
So
okay.
that we wouldn't come at you with
right?
anything.
Okay. Perfect.
Trying to soften the curve.
No. We talked about that. That's good. That's definitely good. I suppose it's too early to know, but no surprises based on the work that's being done. Negative surprises.
No,
Okay.
and the one positive aspect of this is that the work that we did with the relining in South Avenue was actually funded by Aquarium. So that is a positive to our.
Okay. Good. Not anticipated. That wasn't not expected?
The lining was anticipated, but the fact that it wasn't for the whole section, that what was in the report was not the whole section that was relined, but we got additional work done because of the proximity
Okay.
of Aquarian's work, and given the depth and the open excavation of it, we were not comfortable with not having additional protection for our sewer main. And
Is
so
that a credit,
it's actually a reimbursement.
a reimbursement?
So less cost to us.
That's a good thing.
Thanks.
Nick's taking notes. Don't forget about the tiles. That's coming. What was the credit, roughly? Okay, good.
100 grand.
Good. Any questions on the update? We'll be doing this a few times. I think we'll do it again in the spring. You'll just keep us up to date on the work that's being done that we've talked about now. Victor?
I have a question, but it's
Yeah.
tangentially related. May I ask it?
Sure.
So,
Remember, just, there are no dumb questions.
okay,
There are
good.
dumb times to
Ooh.
ask them. Just kidding.
So my question is, stormwater is obviously contributing to some of the green muck on the lakes and the ponds that we see around town. I know that the ICI project is not specifically addressing that, but first of all, do we know what's causing that muck? And are there any ways to address that situation?
So a lot of that is based on the actual depth of the water bodies. So dredging projects to remove a lot of the siltation of those would allow for more anaerobic and aerobic activity. And so you would not have the green algae at the surface. A lot of those water bodies, though, they're not town properties. So as much as we can encourage property owners to dredge their ponds, and, Kathleen and the inland wetlands commission have, meet pretty regularly and have presentations in front of them for dredging of ponds, aside from Kiwanis Pond at the Nature Center, which we just recently finished that work. We don't have as much control over a lot of these water bodies.
So how about Mead Memorial Park?
Ours, but we noticed that due to the low flow, because of lack of rainfall, we weren't getting anything to push out of the pond. So that's one of the major contributors to that of the algae bloom, of the algae basically staying where it is, because we saw that not only at Mill, Mead, Waveney Pond, other ponds in town, based upon the fact that there was just no flow. So there was just nothing to push that out of the way. And the algae bloom is really from what's happening upstream, because those bodies are just gathering from whatever treatments might be happening upstream is actually coming down and being deposited in the pond. And then since it can't flush because we didn't have any rain, it's sat. And then you saw it just proliferate this year. But it was a lot of it had to do with the fact that we were in in a drought or lack of rainfall for months.
So there's, what about solutions? So aside from dredging to make the water deeper, is there anything else?
Well, there's the thought that the upstream bodies, the upstream owners have to realize when and where to fertilize, how much to fertilize, things of that nature. And then you could put bubblers in, but that's a whole other aspect to look at, to whether or not you want to try to, if you put a bubbling system in, then you would continue to agitate the water, and the algae doesn't necessarily take as well. But those are all capital expenditures that you would look at. That we did not look at in Mill and Mead at the time. They're quite costly measures. So
Mill is fed by the 5 Mile River, right?
Mill is fed by the.
What about Mead?
Mead is fed by 2 tributaries. They're basically it's all stormwater runoff through a couple of brooks that one of which comes straight down underneath the lumberyard lot, so straight down through the center of town, and then feeds in through there, and the other. And that kind of leads up through Kimberly Place and back through that area. So there's 2 tributaries that come in, but they're basically coming straight through the downtown area.
Through culverts.
Through culverts, yeah. For the most of it's culvert, yeah, it's piped underneath. You don't necessarily see it. It kind of pops out of the ground in certain locations.
Yeah, so then the upstream issue that is one that has to do with the 5 Mile more than those other streams, right?
Both. There's still a lot of properties that are, access that if water, if anything sheds off of their property, will shed into.
It will go into
system
those streams, yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, thank you for indulging me.
Yeah, no, it's good. Also tangentially related, rebedding, the federal funds for anything going on? What's the latest on that? We haven't heard that in a
We
while.
do know we're in a federal shutdown, right?
Well, this wasn't exactly new news. This was getting to pretty old promise.
They haven't voted on.
Maybe 3 budgets ago or 2.
We're
they haven't
way in the-
voted on a
We're way
budget.
in the big, beautiful bill.
This was.
This was a, oh gosh, no, I can't remember.
This
It's a
is older than the
special-
current
yeah,
administration.
yeah. They have not voted on a budget in 2 cycles. So it's been a continuing
So it's
resolution.
continuing resolution.
It's continuing resolution.
nothing new.
The reason why we haven't, it's still a project that he is putting forward, but we need a real budget. So the continuing resolutions don't fund.
So where are we
Big, beautiful
on
bill.
the project? This was getting to be a little time sensitive, wasn't it? In terms of the rebedding and the.
I've asked them to hold until we
Yeah, okay.
can,
Got it.
it's over $1 million that we've been.
Oh, no, I
you
appreciate
know,
it.
It's,
Gathered up all the materials that we could as far as lamps and other equipment or replacement parts for the unit itself. So, and our run rate, we're able to manage the run rate as to when the lamps are failing. But, we wouldn't be able to stay forever. But to the honest point, it's $1 million. So
Yeah.
we're willing to wait for the federal
Yeah,
government to
okay.
move along.
Okay, other questions on the survey program status? Pretty straightforward. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to go on to the other work that you did?
For a while now, Public Works and Engineering have been discussing the concept of establishing a sanitary sewer impact fee. We're here tonight to provide you a little more background for your consideration of potentially creating this new impact fee. As we continue to evaluate and mitigate our existing system and infrastructure, we believe that it's prudent to consider a one-time impact fee for future permit applications before the town that result in an increase of anticipated sanitary sewer fees to our existing infrastructure. While regular maintenance of the existing infrastructure is anticipated and budgeted for, a mechanism to assign a fee to treat additional flows not currently within the system is warranted, as these flows ultimately end up at the wastewater pollution control facility. As part of the Phase 1 I&I reporting, AECOM prepared an estimate of costs for sanitary sewer flow conveyance and treatment within our infrastructure. And it's summarized in Chapter 5, specifically Section 5.2, present worth transportation and treatment cost. And based on an average daily flow of almost 800,000 gallons per day, the projected treatment cost is approximately $50 per gallon of sewer flow per day when you assume a 20-year project life cycle, along with a discount rate of 2.75 annually. We recommend that a sanitary sewer impact fee be created that applies to non-municipal projects that result in added projected flows to the town sanitary sewer system. The calculation of these estimated projected sanitary sewer flows should be conducted by the applicant's Connecticut licensed professional engineer and be based on the methodology from the most current Connecticut Public Health Code. This fee would be similar to permit fees that are in place for the building department, planning and zoning, inland wetlands. For consideration of the WPCA and to start the dialogue, the sanitary sewer impact fee could be set as the projected treatment cost of $50 per gallon of added estimated sewer flow. As a practical example, if an existing home with 4 bedrooms within the sewer district proposes an addition to their home, resulting in an added bedroom, the Connecticut Health Code estimates a projected 75 gallons per day of additional flow. Therefore, in this example, there would be a one-time sanitary sewer impact fee applied at the time of building permit application of $3,750 if using the $50 per gallon multiplier. If the sewer impact fee were in the amount of $20 per gallon of added flow, the impact fee for the same example would be $1,500, and at $10 per gallon, $750. Therefore, we would recommend a potential one-time sewer impact fee ranging from anywhere from $10 per gallon added sewer flow to a maximum of $50 per gallon added sewer flow. And to be clear, there would be no equivalent fee applied for uses outside the sewer district. An equivalent 4-bedroom residence on septic looking to add a bedroom would not have the sanitary sewer impact fee. But note that they are required to meet the Connecticut Health Code for a code-compliant septic system, which, with an added bedroom, could potentially require modifications to their existing system, requiring field testing for a B100A code-compliant septic system for health department approval. We look forward to your feedback and appreciate your consideration.
So if I were to summarize that, you're talking about, so septic's not this, the domain of this board.
Correct.
So, and it's a completely different set of systems. So for this board, for deferred maintenance, infrastructure costs, the sort of things you're talking about where the increased demand continues to stress the system, and we have to be building up deferred maintenance fees or a budget and a fund suggesting here's $50 per gallon and a use of 75 gallons per bedroom. And it would be the net new number of bedrooms. So as your point, you have a 3-bedroom, you had a 4th bedroom, you're talking about 1 new bedroom. Or if you were to do if you had a single home and you were to, with 2 bedrooms and someone wanted to scrape that home and build a new home with 4 bedrooms, that's a net 2. So you wouldn't pay for 4 bedrooms, you'd pay for 2 because the existing property had 2.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
And
all
use-
net new. Okay, good.
Using the methodology of the Connecticut Public Health Code. So they have recently updated their health code. So they have, as opposed to a standard multiplier for every bedroom, once you get to 3 bedrooms, the bedrooms above that are just based on a per person occupancy, as opposed to 2-person occupancy. So that's why going from a 4 to a 5-bedroom would only be a 75 gallon per day. But
Yeah.
dependent on whatever their engineer would calculate under existing conditions and then proposed conditions, it would be the delta. It would be the calculated delta that the multiplier would go on. And in a residential application, like I explained, it seems in number reasonable, but I do want to kind of flag to your attention that we have had projects come before us that have taken commercial to go to residential. And we've come before you as a WPCA because there has been what was perceived to be a significant increase
Yeah.
in flow, and we needed approvals. For example, Burtis. Burtis Avenue came in with 25 residential units. Their delta, their added flow to the system was 6,350 gallons per day. So using a multiplier of $50 on that volume added to our system is $317,500.
One-time fee.
One-time fee.
Yeah.
At $10, it would be $63,500. So I just want to give you the idea that residential, numbers can read differently when you're comparing it from a residential to residential application or a commercial to
Sure, of
residential.
course. It's the net new. I mean, that makes sense. The deferred maintenance projections or the maintenance projection costs for the infrastructure and for the treatment plant itself, you've got a long-term capital plan of, I don't remember how many millions of dollars we've got. Do you have that?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, because the question will be that we'll have to fund that somehow. Now, that doesn't have to all be funded by the net new, of course, but that would be a part of the reason to do this. Okay. Thoughts and any reactions? Questions?
Aside from the new additions, the new permits that are sought, is there an additional fee also being considered for just the standard bill? So if you have X amount of people in the house,
So we have an annual user fee. So that annual user fee, we had come to you a couple of months ago, clarifying that in residential applications, it was based on bedroom count just for equity across the board. So that is your annual user fee. We term this as an impact fee because of those added flows, and we had called it as a one-time fee.
Yeah, is that what your question is? I mean, every year we have that conversation for the users today as to what that fee ought to be. So that's an annual cost that they're aware of. I thought you were asking a different question. It's a good question. Is there, if I were to build a new house today and put something, is there a one-time setup fee, hookup fee, any special fee? I thought that's what.
Right. So we have a sanitary sewer disconnect fee. So if a house is demolished, you would have to cap it temporarily. So that is a disconnect fee, excuse me. And then to reconnect when the house is completed is another connection fee.
Okay.
If for, we've had in the past projects where originally it was one dwelling unit. When it was complete at CO, the approvals were for 2 dwelling units. We would actually have a connection fee per dwelling unit. So it's not just a one, even though it might be one physical connection to our sewer, because we have 2 units coming to it, we put the multiplier on each dwelling unit.
thank you.
Other questions?
If you pass this, the Bertus project would be exempt, right? Because it's already done.
Correct.
But then a new project would come along.
Yes, this is the idea is any permits that come in once this gets adopted and becomes effective.
And
So just on that, on the process itself, we have to determine whether we want to do a one-time fee, which you're right, AECOM's recommending, you guys are recommending. So I appreciate that as backdrop. Then we would have a hearing like we do every year for a normal setting of the annual fee. We would have a hearing on this for a special meeting for the one-time fee, and then taking feedback and then having a vote at some point. Yeah, okay. Is that right? I mean, that would be our process, I think. Yeah, okay. Here's your other question.
What prior to this, what was our fee for connections?
What is the current hookup fee and
Yeah.
disconnect fee?
So our disconnect fee, I don't want to misspeak, but I believe it's $150. And then, I know it's low. And then our connection fee is $350. $300.
It's mainly,
Yeah,
it's
so-
mainly to handle the staff time to go out and take a look at the disconnection to make sure it was properly disconnected.
This is going to be a major change.
Oh, yes.
Well, we don't change that. That could stay the same.
That the disconnection and the connection fee
wouldn't
will
change at
all
all.
No, but
stay the
somebody-
same. but-
Somebody adds, somebody scrapes a house that had 2 bedrooms, builds a new one that has 4.
Mhm.
What do we do now? You get the disconnect and you get the reconnect, $400.
500.
Yeah, but then you wait till the end of the year and then they recount how many bedrooms they have and then
Yeah,
they
but that's
pay on
their
the new
annual
bedroom
fee.
count.
And the annual fee doesn't change.
The difference is that they went from 2 to 4, so that's 2 new bedrooms.
Yeah.
And that puts the stress on the system. That's the point. That
No, no,
adds to the- yeah.
the point that they're getting to is good and probably in the interest of everybody,
Mhm.
but I can see where there's going to be a lot of discussion around that because of the magnitude of the change.
Well, it goes from zero. There's, yeah,
Exactly.
it
We
goes from
currently
zero, there's
don't have an
nothing.
impact fee.
Actually, virtually nothing
Right, I
today.
mean, somebody could argue that it's just the connect, disconnect charge.
Well, they're building a $4 million home
Right.
and there's a $3,700 tax for the new bedroom.
And how would this work for multi-tenant buildings,
So again, the
apartment buildings, condos, so on?
the applicants have their engineer estimate using the methodology from the Connecticut Public Health Code for what their existing flows to the system are based on their potential. So not based on water usage, but it's based on the potential of the existing. And then they would calculate the same under post-developed conditions. And then the delta would be where, if there is an approved multiplier, would be put on to calculate an impact fee.
But the impact fee will not be the same as this one. It's not the $75 fee, the $50 fee.
It is what we're just suggesting. A range could be anywhere from $10.
It would be
per
this fee.
gallon
It
or
would be the fee.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever is
Yes,
decided to be
yes.
the fee. The question it would be is 50 even enough? Does that calculate out to help with the maintenance costs that are coming into the system?
Right.
That's what we kind of have to triangulate on a little bit, but.
So as you said, in the case of Berta's, that would have been a $300,000 fee on top of whatever their other costs were.
Right.
Okay.
Without this new fee, though, a big building comes online and basically all the existing people end up having to cover the deferred maintenance of the building. So it seems fair to me.
So would whatever the fee is go into a fund to then fund the maintenance that we have to do later on?
That's the way to play it.
Yeah, it goes in the sewer fund.
That's the way to play it. Goes into the, yeah.
And our cost will be 50. We have to shoulder the additional 40.
Sewer fund.
Well, two different things. It has to go into the sewer fund to handle the maintenance we're expecting in the infrastructure, the pipes, in situ form, and obviously any of the bedding or the water to sewer treatment. Your point's different, UV treatment. We don't get anything. It's just a serious question. Your question is, if we only use 10 and the cost is 50 from AECOM, what do then this would have to come through a tax increase or another assessment. So that's why I want to be careful to go too low and miss the point of doing this in the first place. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Either way, the cost will go up either through taxes, right? We have to pay for it, or the individual or whoever builds the building. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're bonding for, the INI study, and for others, we're bonding for those, which is then being, billed back to the fund itself, to the sewer fund. So
Yeah.
in essence, you're right. So you're either borrowing to take care of the maintenance or gathering up front, putting into a major maintenance fund, utilizing some of those funds to offset some of your future costs. Is what the thought was. Yeah.
So AECOM recommended this. Do we know what other similar towns are doing?
This is, yes, yeah.
So just in the research that we've done, we were only picking up the connection fees and the disconnection fees a lot, but some municipalities had ranges that were in $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for connection fees.
Wow.
Let's see what I have in front
They're
of
making
me.
up for the impact fee.
Right.
Okay, but
Right.
that's interesting.
Yeah. But Westchester, this is actually very common, just because of the aging infrastructure and the close proximity of, all of the homes. And then the fact of the matter is that traditionally your sewer mains are running alongside your water bodies, your rivers, your tributaries. And so INI is a major concern and factor, especially in Westchester County. And so
That makes sense.
I can come back with some more examples for Westchester if you'd like.
Okay.
So we count the bedrooms in each home every 10 years during the assessment or the reevaluation of the homes. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, that's part of SEBI's purview, but yeah, they would go in, the inspection would go and see what's happening in the house.
No, but I'm saying like right now, the sewer fee is calculated on how many bedrooms you have in your house. And that's calculated during the every reevaluation.
So if sorry to
No,
interrupt.
it's okay, go ahead.
So if a home has come in for a building permit and they've requested to go from 4 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms, they've completed everything, they've passed all inspections, and then they go for a certificate of occupancy. Once they get their CO, it is then recorded with the assessor's office that is now a 5-bedroom house and not a 4-bedroom house.
Charge the rate for the 5 bedrooms. So going back to Burtis, when they get their certificate of occupancy, if this fee did not exist and they all of a sudden have 25 extra units, they're going to be charged annual sewer fee based on those 25 units. What would that amount be? Like, would the fee that we're talking about now be similar to what their new payment would be?
Just to clarify, at the time of building permit, we did not have an impact, or obviously we did not have an impact fee. So they didn't have to have any fee at construction, but they have 25 residential units. So their user fee is based on the bedrooms in each of those. So each individual unit, let's say one of the 25 is a 3-bedroom, 4 or 2 bedrooms, whatever, the multiplier for their annual user fee would be for each individual unit and would be based on their bedrooms.
Yeah, that, they're gonna get that anyway. Yeah, that's the user fee. There's no change there.
Just not getting, they're just not getting an impact fee at present.
But theoretically, that user fee would cover the or the usage of the sewer system. That's what the whole purpose of the user fee is.
That's correct, but it doesn't cover it's not covering maintenance going out. We have to bond for that maintenance going out, which is then we're covering that fee, the P&I payment is being covered underneath the user fee. But the overall is not. If you can reduce that amount by other fees being brought in, then you wouldn't have to bond as much.
Do you have any idea what the annual revenue might be from something like this? I mean, how many new bedrooms get added
In the sewer district.
every year, for instance, or on an average over 5 years?
We should know. That's fine. We can find that out easy
We
enough.
can find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it's something we haven't tracked.
Yeah,
I think I have a column in when I did the user fee because I
Okay.
had last year's
okay.
bedroom count and this year's bedroom count. So I can at least just in general give a number. I can come back to you
Yeah.
with that number.
Okay. You have it off the top of your head or you have to look? Okay.
Apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. I
told
thought that's
Tiger,
where you were going.
I'm Dory these days, so I
I
apologize.
thought you were going with, I just happen to have that number. It's 119. All right.
Well, I mean, if it
So
was
I sent
100
everyone.
or so, that'd be a lot of money every
Yeah.
year, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a big bill coming. That's the thing we're trying to get ahead of here.
The Cherry Street, what they're building there, isn't that gonna be a mixed use?
Cherry Street and Burtis, that was the one, that was the
Oh, okay,
example we
okay.
were giving, is
Yeah.
the corner at Burtis and Cherry. Yes, that's a mixed-use development. That was our example. Yeah. And to your point, the plant renovation was in 1998.
Yeah. No, it's
Feels like it was
we're
last year, but it was, it's 25
say
years ago.
ticking, but it's ticking. Okay. Okay. Other questions? This is important. So I would just say next steps. We have a few follow-up questions, so we should have answers for those. We'll let you know when we're going to do the meeting. Okay, so we'll be prepared for that and have a hearing. So it'll be not till, obviously won't be for a while, probably November, December, some. But
Whenever
yeah,
whenever you want to hold it,
okay.
we can certainly, we'll be ready for that.
Quickly though, broadly, it seems like people understand this and accept, they recognize there's a need. We can debate the amount, but yes, no?
Well, the question is, we either build up a fund in advance to pay down some, probably not all, of some refit to the sewer system whenever that comes about. So the question of it is, do you pay it in advance or do you pay it in arrears? So if we collect a fee, citizens are paying in advance, that could build up to be quite a lot of money. It's kind of the taxpayers' money. On the other hand, if we wait until the event happens and we bond it, then it goes back against the fund. Taxpayers still pay it, but now they pay it in arrears.
Well, everybody,
So philosophically,
Yeah.
which one,
Yeah.
which do you want to do?
yeah. I'd like to know how many bedrooms and what that really means, because I think it's both. I'm not sure this solves our deferred maintenance bubble. that's coming. But it's a good way to get ahead of it a little for obvious reasons. That it's the new demand that's causing the acceleration of the deterioration of obviously the aging infrastructure. That's for real. My guess is when we have something that we have to do that's a $4 million or a $3 million commit, this isn't going to cover the waterfront.
No.
But it
might
would
have-
help.
But you might have $1 million built up over a
You
few
could have $1
years,
million
right?
built up. That's
So
right. That's
it's
right.
just, so that you're, yeah,
That's right.
so, but it's still from the cash flow perspective of the taxpayer.
Yeah.
They're either, they've paid some of it up front.
Yeah.
And then they'll pay some of it in the rears if we do it this, because
Yeah.
we'll never cover the whole thing. I don't
Yeah,
think.
the new demand will pay for, the new fee will help pay for the new demand. I would say some of it. And then when that expense comes between the fund debt and this that we would build up, we would cover it. Otherwise, you're asking everyone to get a tax.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
thing
so
that I
some
think
of
we're
it should-
trying to avoid. They're all going to get that anyway. And when we bond it, they're all going to pay for that.
Right, but some of it should be.
Borne by the
developers
new
or
builds.
or the
That's right.
building owner.
That's the
Maybe
thought.
The original. one.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything
sense.
else that we need for now? But again, we're not voting on this tonight. We're just letting everybody know this is moving along. We will have to have a hearing and then we will have to have a vote to get this stuff running. So we'll figure it out. Anything else that you need to add?
I mean, if there are other questions that you gather, as we're moving forward, just let us know and
Yeah.
we'll get that information before the next meeting. So
Okay.
Be all informed of what's going
Yeah,
on. and
fair
we'll-
enough.
We'll answer the questions that you gave us so far today.
Okay.
Just administratively, so if, let's say for the November, December, we approve it, does it have to go elsewhere? Does it have to go to town council? Does it have
I
to go
think
anywhere
that's
else, or
that's the
is-
deal.
We're good.
You think it's
I'm pretty sure that's our statutory responsibility.
based upon what we've read in
Yeah.
the state statute? Yeah.
And the only other question will be at what effective date?
Yeah.
Whatever the date is after the meeting or something, we'll figure that out too, but it would, yeah, good.
What would be helpful was for us to help between $10 and $50
Mhm.
decide. Do we know how much we paid for maintenance in years past?
Well, I'll see what I can break out from the budget itself.
Because let's say it's a $500,000 cost, right?
Yep.
And then when you ask how many,
Well, we know it is, we're doing that now for the studies. $500,000 a year just for that, not even the,
what the gap is we have to fill potentially.
but you had a pretty big maintenance multi-year plan in that study.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. And it's gonna have to happen. And it was $8 million, $6 million.
No,
Closer to 4.
yeah, I was gonna say, yes, closer to 4, but
Okay.
if you add in the UV.
Right, well, it's 4 and if you're not gonna count everything. Well, I'm counting everything and it's closer to, telling you it's closer to 6. I don't remember everything, but I remember figures. Okay, good. Anything else? Good discussion. All right, thank you both. Appreciate
Thank
that. Yeah, great job, Maria. You too, Tiger. You did a nice job. Okay, anything else on our agenda here? No, that was it, right?
Okay. Have to vote on what the amount of the fee will be.
We will-
We're
we-
gonna defer that to another.
Oh, I would
meeting.
say we'll do that. We gotta get a little more homework here. We will is the answer, but I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, we don't do it tonight.
Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing else, motion to adjourn the WPCA meeting. We'll reconvene in 20 minutes or so for the, can I go right into the Board of? Okay, never mind. We'll just adjourn for this meeting, take maybe 2 minutes to get organized and then reconvene, okay? So motion to adjourn WPCA, Maria, second? Yep. Nick? All in favor of adjourning? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Bob. We'll
Yep. See you.